All right, we'll go ahead and call our meeting to order. This is our September 11th regular town council meeting. If we could have a roll call, please.
Yes.
Here.
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 Here. Okay, and Mr. Aiken did let us know tonight that he won't be able to be in attendance for tonight's meeting. Before we go into invocation and have Jeff Smith come up to tell us about Haymarket Church of Christ and how they've been doing for the last, since we were here last, I'd like for us all to stand just for a moment of silence. We have a lot of things have happened over the last 30 days. Our long-term resident, A.C. Watts, at the age of 82, passed away. I can still remember A.C. and his nice, big, warm handshake and being involved with our town. It's one of the longest-running businesses, a plumbing company. It's kind of interesting, too. I spoke to some of the people over on Carver Road, and the one gentleman mentioned about how he knew the Watts family through his son and through him, and it wouldn't matter what time, day or night, but he would call him, and AC would get the truck and go over and fix whatever he needed to. So started his business back in the 1960s. So, just want to think of him. Obviously today, September 11th, 16 years after the event that really changed our history here in America. And our two storms that were going on, Harvey and Irma. We think of all the people that are suffering and the needs that they have. But for that, we'll just stand for one moment of silence. Okay. Jeff Smith, if you would like to lead us in invocation here.
Be glad to. Would you bow with me, please? Our Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with thankful hearts, thankful for the safety and the prosperity and the health that we enjoy amid destruction and want as we look around the world and strife even. Let us not be mindful of storms as much as those who are rushing in to help afterwards. When the world throws its challenges to us, we're so thankful for the people that show up and give selflessly. Especially today, we think of our first responders, and today of the first responders 16 years ago who rushed in, serving, and some of them to their death. It's a strong memory for us, and we're so thankful for people like that. Help us to be like that. We're thankful also, Father, for those here who are serving their community, our community, to preserve the peace and the prosperity that we enjoy for not only our days, but for the coming generations. We pray that you'll give them wisdom, give them strength, give them patience for each task, keep them on track for our community and for you. Pray for our nation and the healing of our nation, for those that are, for everyone that sows strife, may there be 10 that sow love. And pray for the particular projects that are before us as well, that you might grant success to them. And we ask, Father, finally, that you forgive us as we repent and forgive others. And we ask it all, I ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, if we could remain standing for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jeff, if you wanted to just give us an update of the church and how you're doing out there.
Yeah, a couple words. It was July of 2012, when we started renting this facility to meet, and we did that for about 2.5 years while the building was under construction. It's been another 2.5 years that we've been in our new building, and all is going well. We had a bump in the road the first year with a water leak. It shut us down for about 2 months, but we're back, and I think we confused the community for a while, too. Are they open or are they not? There's that big box out in front of the place. But this seems to have been the summer, really, when things have taken off to a degree, and we're seeing some growth and all is well, spiritually and fiscally. So appreciate being around and appreciate the opportunity to be here today, too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is citizens' time. Anybody would like to come up and speak? Now would be the time. Seeing none, we'll move over to our minutes of August 7th and August 31st. Looking for Councilman Aiken to give the motion, but I think we'll be waiting for a while.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from August 7th, 2017, and August 31st, 2017.
Motion been seconded. Discussion on the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, one
Abstain.
abstained. Okay.
Wasn't here.
All right. Our next item is our town planner's report. We are on page 12 of the packet. Any questions for
I would just like to say that there's a lot of outstanding violations, and I think we should, with our new town planner on staff, we should really get to work on those. The violations were reported in June and July. The last one was beginning of August, and here we are September, so we really need to get on top of those.
Yeah. Ms. Murray, would you like to have a comment?
Good evening. I was going to introduce Emily during my report, and one of the things that we're going to do is have her meet with the chair and the boards and just get in touch and have an introductory meeting and get up to speed on any concerns that they have or outstanding issues that they want to address that we haven't yet already.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Moving on to our town engineer's report. Ms. Katie McDaniel.
Katie will be here. She says she's on her way, so if you do have any additional questions, she will be here in a little while.
Okay.
Because she's going to be here for the revenue sharing agenda item.
Okay.
The only comment would be the Eagle Scout project, that's complete, right?
Yes, it is complete,
So
sir.
You can take that off, I guess. I don't know if you need to keep that on there.
No, we don't.
All right. Moving on to our building officials report.
Our building official, Joe Barbeau, is in Florida currently, and he's unable to make it tonight, so we will schedule him for next month. He apologizes for not being here.
Yep.
It's kind of a quarterly visit.
He was remote down in Ormond Beach, where he is. And I have to say, I was one of the first virtual inspections that were actually done. He did virtually through one of the representatives from it's a TL, I always get them confused, TLC, correct. So he actually virtually documented all the areas that for my permit and was able to do that via Skype or FaceTime, however you want to look at it.
He was telling us about the new technology that his company was starting to use.
Yep.
Virtual inspector.
Yep.
And he said that he can come and make a little presentation and share with you a little bit more about it at a future meeting if you'd like.
That's kind of really interesting.
It's fairly interesting.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on to our police department report. Chief Lands. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, how are you guys?
Good, how are
Yeah.
you?
All right, is there any questions on the statistics for the month?
So so far, school buses, no one's been scooting around school buses?
We've been out, we were given a list of the bus stops, times, and we've had officers out for that. We haven't had any reports yet of that.
Good.
I think we're a whole lot more visible this year with the new vehicles and the special attention that we're paying to it, that we're making it see us.
No one has told me they have seen it happen yet either, so I just
Sure.
wanted to make sure.
Okay. All right. I did want to point out the business checks on the statistics. They're still going strong, and they're working out really well. So I'm real proud of the guys on that. Just some points of interest for the month of August. We did participate in the kickball game. We had a blast. That was so much fun. I hope they put something together again for that. Watching the mayor fall down running the first base was amazing.
Yeah, there were a lot of highlights from that.
And then I
That
kicked the kickball and it hit the mayor's wife right in the face. That wasn't good. That wasn't good. I've been apologizing for that ever since. But we had a great time, and Councilman Morris, when he showed up, ended up killing it for everyone. He just every time he got up, he'd kick a home run. So appreciate you showing up. Maybe next time you show up an hour
little earlier.
and we wouldn't be down 10 runs by the time you get there. So
You have to point out, too, this was his first time playing.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Actually, Miss Susan told me the name of the game, and I had to try to find what it was. Kickball. I found out the day before, though. Gave me enough time.
To Google it?
We had a great time. A lot of the staff and police officers participated. Just another thing that we're doing here to participate within our community. I thought it was a great event. We got to meet a lot of people. QBE put on a really good program with all their different rules for the beginning of each inning. So it was fun. It was a fun time. I think it was well needed and gave us a good connection with the community.
Yep.
And then we put on another self-defense class at QBE for the college students that were going back to school. I think we had 32 participants, and the ladies learned self-defense again from Officer Davis, who once again did a fantastic job. I'm really proud of him and the effort that he's been putting in for these classes, and the rest of the team who was there to support him. So. And then we had the storm event during August, which hit us pretty good. Got a lot of trees down in the town, and we were relaying information back and forth. The mayor and the town manager and myself were on a group text, and then I think all of us were on a separate group text. I thought that worked fantastic. I wanted to know if in the future for these events, did you guys want to continue to do something like that where we start a group text with everyone? That way everyone has the same information at the same time. Typically when things like this happen, I will be the one to be able to give you the most information at the beginning of events like this until the town manager and the mayor get out and about, and you guys as well. So would you like me to continue to do something like that when we have events like this? Okay. All right. We also attended the funeral of the trooper that went down in the helicopter. Officer O'Neill knew personally one of the pilots, and so he attended the funeral for us. He was a representative for the town and for the police department for that. So we did that. Then the last point of interest was we had a resignation this month of one of the officers. Right now we have an ad that goes in the paper Wednesday. We're starting with the Gainesville paper, and then if we need more, we'll go out further than that. But I already have it posted on the Virginia Chiefs of Police website, and have already gotten calls from that posting. And then we'll see what happens when it hits the Gainesville paper. We'll run it for 2 weeks, and then if we don't have a lot of interest or we need more candidates, then I guess we'll branch out into the other two papers, Fauquier Times and what was the other one? Rappahannock.
So we're hiring a full-time and a part-time?
I'm going to advertise for one full-time and a part-time position. Well, actually, I pulled back the part-time position because we have a candidate that was recommended by Councilman Passanello and the mayor, who came in and spoke with me last week, and he's a fantastic candidate. I think he's going to meet our needs for the part-time position. If he can't, so it's going to be hard to replace Officer Anderson as a part-time because he didn't have a job and he worked worked for us
do
whenever,
whatever, right.
whenever we needed him. This gentleman has a job, but has a pretty decent schedule that we can use him. We've already agreed that if he can't meet all of the needs, then we'll branch out and maybe hire one more. Our part-time budget will still stay the same, and just be the hours will be split up between them. So I guess the plan, if everything works out well, is it'll be advertised for 2 weeks. Then we'll do a week or so of interviews, and then we'll do a week or so of background checks, and then offer a position. I'm thinking maybe mid-October, toward the end of October, when we'll bring on a full-time guy or girl. All right. Also, I want to remind everyone of our meeting on the 27th with the county in reference to our contract. I was given word today that the MDCs are on a license and they have to be renewed every 6 months. And when we called to renew it today, they were told that we have it until the 29th, which is 2 days after the meeting. That's what they were told. Renew it until then, and we'll see what happens in the meeting. So I would, Councilman Passanello and I did have a conversation about this, and I highly recommend his idea of us meeting prior to that to get all of our ducks in order. I'll put together some figures of all the out-of-town calls that we've assisted them in. I think we have a strong case, and I think we have support, hopefully, from our representatives. So we should meet before then, I think, for sure.
Also, if we could plan a trip, let's go down to the EOC Center. We'll take whatever council would like to go. Let's see how this might impact if we went another route of calling in every call. And yeah, so I think it's important that we see how they communicate and how we would communicate otherwise.
All right. So if you want to, if any council member wants to do that, or you want to put together a group, just get with me and I'll facilitate a trip down there. I think that's also where the meeting is going to take place, in the same building.
Okay.
But anyway, whatever, if you guys want to set a time, I don't know if you want to do that tonight or to get together before that day, or if you want to do that later, just let me know. 27th is coming up.
Okay.
Real quick.
All right.
I did want to reference the speed signs. Councilman Morris did talk about the speed sign and the backup battery in that last month. I did communicate with him what I learned, but figured I'd let the rest of you know as well. The backup battery has a 3 to 6 year battery life. It started in 2015 for us, so we're still within the limits of the battery. The sign will work for 7 to 10 days without any sunlight at all, based off of the backup battery. The battery is not expensive. It is a regular ATV battery that you can get at any local auto parts store for anywhere from $40 to $60. So I think it's a little less daunting than what you had thought it was. So that's all I have for that. One officer highlight at the end, like I always like to do, highlight the staff. I would like to recognize Officer Davis for his work during the storm. Officer Davis was in touch with me constantly through phone calls and text messages, updating me so that I could update you with all the power outages and trees that were down. He helped remove multiple trees. He was sick with a fever that night, but was out soaking wet for the entire night in uniform, helping people out. And he responded to multiple trees down and helped get them out of the road. He kept me up to date so I could keep you up to date. He responded to several houses of our residents here. One, Miss Alange, who was here earlier, she asked us to check on her kids who were in the house that she thought water was encroaching on the house. So she called me and asked me to send Jake to do that. So, and he did a fantastic job that night. And I think he got hit the next night as well with some more rain, and he was out in that as well. So, but he did a great job. And then the last thing I want to remind you of is we are, if you've seen on our Facebook page, we are planning a breast cancer walk on October the 14th. Corey's putting it together. He's already got a really good event put together. As some of you know, 3 years ago tonight, well, tomorrow morning at 12. So it means something to me. Looking forward to a good event. Corey's putting together something that I think is going to be more like a block party almost at the beginning, at the end when they come and go. We've got lots of sponsors with Chick-fil-A. The mayor's wife's real estate company is going to sponsor it with us as well, and there may be one or two more of those that are going to help us out. So we hope to have a lot of participation. We'll mention it again in October's meeting. But we're going to. This department is going to do it up big for October with a lot of pink. You're going to see a lot of pink.
That's good. You can't have enough pink for that.
Yes, sir.
And then pink on the museum, right?
Yep.
You got that planned. Okay, good.
So the walk is, what time did you think about scheduling that? Is that like an early morning walk?
It's 10 o'clock. I think it starts.
Yep.
And it goes till 3. I'm sure it won't take till 3, but
Right.
And we'll have all the officers out here. We'll have several bike units out here. I think Corey's trying to get the Prince William Bike Patrol out here as well. So we'll have all the crosswalks and the main streets, front and back of the line, all covered with officers, so we can keep everybody safe. I think it'll start and end right here in the parking lot in front of the police department. So,
Good deal.
love to see you guys out there.
Yep.
All right, any questions
What was
for
the
me?
date again? The date again?
14th?
October 14th.
Yeah, I do have a couple,
Yes, sir.
because we had a chance to talk a week ago, and we were talking about the accreditation, Kevin and I think I understand better exactly where we're at, and I suggested that perhaps he present to council exactly the whole process. I think that would be very helpful for everybody to see, because then, in my view, it becomes a resource issue. So, thoughts about that, but I think it would be beneficial to go through that.
Is that something you'd like me to address in the October meeting?
Yeah, I think we have a meeting that we're going to plan into September, like a work session.
Yes,
Maybe we can-
we're going to talk later about possibly scheduling a work session, and we were thinking about adding that as an item
Right.
to share that with the rest of the council.
Yeah.
Vice Mayor?
Yeah, that's great. I think it's good for everybody to see that, because it was a bit of an eye-opener for me, so thank you for that. The other thing is, I was at Chick-fil-A today, and I see a lot of people doing that U-turn coming out of,
Sheets?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. They're coming up towards Chick-fil-A, and they're doing that U-turn.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now,
right.
there's no sign there, right?
There's nothing that says they can't do that.
All right.
Yeah,
and
and we're not going to do anything with that.
No, not in. They built it so wide right there with that
Yeah.
extra turn lane
Right.
going on 55, or 15. I don't think that we're going to need it. But if we have multiple accidents there,
Yeah.
maybe we can readdress it with VDOT.
It gets a little dicey.
Mm-hmm.
But my thinking is, and this is probably a question for the town engineer, maybe, not sure, or planner. So I guess they're doing that right now because Sheets is under construction, and there's no way, I don't think you can go out south from there.
No, sir.
Because it's all blocked off. So after it's finished and all the pumps are in and the route's back in, we should think, or at least talk to Sheets to make sure there's internal wayfinding signage, so people know to go out south to get to 15 to go north or south. I think they can do that, right?
That's in their sign package, they've already, so whether people follow it or not.
That's true, but just make sure that we've got that signage out there. And then maybe we talk to VDOT about that U-turn, I'm not sure.
Are the pumps, are they going to be on the Washington Street side or the other side.
No.
There's only going to be
no.
one set of.
There's going to be double stacked on currently where the current tower
Okay,
is.
okay.
Yes.
If they were on the other side, it may direct them more out that back way. But sure, and that's something we can see how it works out in the next couple months. And then if it becomes a problem, we can address VDOT with that U-turn. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Nope, Mayor.
Sure.
Chief, no questions. Just I've been out traveling the last couple meetings, so doing a little catch up here. But I want to make sure I say thank you to you as well as your officers and sergeant for the way that you all are running this department. It's been a little over 9 months now that you've been with us, and I think everyone on this dais sitting here this evening can say thank you to you for the way that you've turned this department around. Everything from the community relations, from all of the community development that we have done with the community in regards to National Night Out, from our defense classes to our 5K that we're doing, the water balloon fights. We've had 2 now with Long Street Commons as well as with Green Hill Crossing, and it's just amazing to see the officers as well as yourself out with the community and really building those relations. Also want to say thank you to Officer O'Neill for, I believe you added a little bit of it to his job title there with his community relations side. So, Officer O'Neill, thank you for everything you've done in regards to putting these events together and making them successful. Thirdly, I'd like to thank Officer Davis for his sacrifice going through that storm. Obviously, nothing in regards to what our first responders are doing down right now down in Texas, as well as Florida, Louisiana, and Alabama, Georgia, all of those areas. But you all put your life on the line for us on a daily basis, and I want to make sure that I say thank you to you and everyone in your department. So if you would please relay that message for me.
Will do. Thank you, sir.
All right. Any other comments for Chief? We're good? All right, thank you, sir. Okay, our next item, Ms. Denise Andrews, Business Community. Everyone think of what's going to important happen this coming Saturday?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, this Saturday, September 16th, Haymarket Day, our 29th annual Haymarket Day. I'm going to give you a few updates real quick. Today, I actually accepted an application in from Battlefield High School's National Honor Society. In lieu of both of the hurricanes, Irma and Harvey, they will be taking a collection. They'll have a booth here out front of Town Hall, taking monetary as well as other donations for the victims in those areas. As of today, we have 235 vendors and collected over $49,000 in booth fees. Additional media coverage this coming Friday, September 15th. Bull Run Observer will be running an article in their magazine regarding Haymarket Day. Also, before I forget, we will have our last Haymarket Day meeting this Thursday, September 14th at, that meeting is going to be at 6 p.m. That is our volunteer meeting. So for all those who are volunteering for Haymarket Day, we ask that you come out Thursday evening. You'll receive your volunteer event staff T-shirt, as well as vital information about that day regarding setup, where vendors go, where parking is, and all the information that you'll be able to give to people who are here as spectators as well as participants for Haymarket Day. Updates incoming soon. There is Wellness Solutions. That ribbon cutting ceremony is actually going to be held on the 5th of October, and the time has not been determined. So once I have that information, I will forward it to all members of council and staff. Also, we are running 32 radio spots on Wink FM 92.5. Those radio spots started airing on Saturday, September 9th, and they will run up until 12 noon, the day of the event, September 16th. If council has any questions, I'll take them at this time.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know we have the meeting Thursday, but any major open issues or anything of concern on Haymarket Day that you need extra help with?
Always trash.
Well, that's John, right? John?
John is our lead for, Councilman Cole's our lead for trash this year. I have a call out and emails out to Battlefield High School for their National Honor Society, as well as 2 other courses there at Battlefield High School that are going to be assisting on Haymarket Day. So I've sent out the volunteer sign-up sheet, That gives the different areas of need that we have for that day, as well as times that they could participate and help with that day. I'm still waiting to hear back from one dealership as far as a car for our Grand Marshal. Our entire Grand Marshal's family will be riding in the parade. We do have a gentleman that is part of a car show out in Fauquier County who will be driving his Mustang, his convertible Mustang, in the parade for our Grand Marshal and her husband. So we just need one more vehicle.
Okay, great, super. And the sponsorship funds, just to clarify, those sponsorship funds are for all 4 events, right?
Some of them are. Wegmans is one of our sponsors that sponsor all 4 events, as well as School of Rock. They are a 4-sponsor event as well.
Okay, thank you.
4-event sponsor.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yep.
Other questions? We're all good?
We're all excited, though, right?
Yes. Just putting
No
in
rest
words.
till Monday.
Yeah. All right. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for the report there. Our next item, we'll go to our treasurer's report. And we are on page 20 of our packet.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
One correction I'd like to make, just notice, is that the auditors were here. They completed their on-site visit last Thursday, but the audit itself is still ongoing. I will keep you guys updated if there's anything that needs attention. On these reports, you'll notice that we had to make our first debit service loan payment, which is the bigger one up front. The next one won't be due until February. So that has caused it to be pretty hefty number at the end of the month. The coming months, we will be working on getting the real estate taxes out to the public, and we will be seeing those probably around the mid-December to January. Well, December 5th is when they're due. So that should show up there. As far as the events, another update too. As of today, we've actually, Denise has actually been able to meet her budgeted amount, actually surpassed it. We're at 72 and some change. This has also allowed us to be able to facilitate a few items to the public, especially at the park. So yeah, is there any other questions you guys have for me?
Okay.
I actually do have a question back for Denise. In the event of inclement weather, not that it's forecasted,
Be positive.
we do not provide refunds, or what's the contract for the vendors?
Haymarket Day is a rain or shine event, so there are no refunds.
Bring weights in case it gets windy.
Okay, that's all I had a question.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Go ahead.
What is the breakdown between the 4 event sponsors and just the Haymarket Day sponsors? It's Wegmans and School of Rock are the
main sponsors. I think Dominion is another one of the sponsors.
Yes, Dominion Power.
School of Rock, I believe.
You don't have to break it out, just like total. I don't need.
I can get back to you.
Okay, would you?
Actually, yes,
Thank
we
you.
are.
I appreciate that.
Good
Thank
answer.
you.
I do have a couple questions.
Yes.
Could you send me the closeout of the 16-17 budget, the latest you have?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing is, these numbers reflect just for July, because I see it was printed August 25th.
Yes, just for July. The reason being is because I still haven't reconciled at the time. I had not reconciled August. The bank statements. So I just want to make sure there's nothing missing the revenue side or expenses. So that's why there's always a delay.
Little lag.
Yeah, just to make sure. But I could always send you something more today if you wanted to.
Okay, great. Super. Thank you.
Any other questions for Roberto? All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Next up, Ms. Murray.
Good evening, Mayor and Councilors. As the chief has already spoken about, we did have a major storm on August 11th, and we were hit hard. There were a lot of downed trees and downed utility poles. We had a lot of assistance from our citizens and residents, and again, our officers that were on duty. Our hardest hit streets were Madison, Fayette, and Hunting Path Road. And there was significant debris from branches that fell from private property into roadways. It was interesting to work with VDOT and understand that trees and limbs that fall from private property into the right-of-way are really the property owner's responsibility or the town to assist. So in the future, we need to perhaps have a conversation with the next fiscal budget, fiscal year 2019, to talk about these kind of events. And how the town wants to respond in the future as far as assisting on our town streets, since they are the VDOT's roads, but we do have a responsibility to assist our residents too. So we had some calls from folks that were very comfortable with cutting up their branches and being able to get them into the trash cans as a service from our waste disposal company, and there are others that really wanted to have some extra assistance from the town and just getting them cleared as soon as possible. So I think it's going to prompt some good conversation when we get to budget season to see how we deal with that or other types of emergencies that may come up. Give some direction to the manager. We did speak with Sheetz ahead of time. We did learn that they were going to close down their pumps and their entrance on Washington Street right before Haymarket Day. So we got in touch with corporate and talked about the benefit to both Haymarket Day, our community, and to them. And we were able to postpone that a couple days out through the weekend. So we're really pleased we were able to negotiate that. The Town Center project, we're going to hopefully speak a little bit later about scheduling a work session meeting to be able to talk about some different funding scenarios, talk about the phasing of the current building plans that we have. It's a little bit complicated to talk about all the different complexities of it, so we thought a work session might be a good opportunity to talk about that. I am asking our town engineer, Katie, to be there with us to explain some of the engineering side of things that I think might help answer some questions for you as well. And also on the agenda later tonight, we're going to talk about the VDOT revenue sharing program. We're very excited that applications are coming up and due in the next month or so. They're going on a 2-year cycle now, so we're very excited to have the opportunity to perhaps put in an application where the town may be able to benefit from some of those grant funds for some of the activities that we've been talking about, some of our infrastructure on our sidewalks and curbing and crosswalks, and possibly even fund some of our town center project that relates to roadway and sidewalk improvements. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Also, we did receive a letter from the Bull Run ASAP program in August. That program includes Loudoun and Prince William County. They're asking if the town council would like to appoint a board member. Originally, the town was supportive of that program way back in 1988. Most recently, our previous chief, Noble, was on that policy board. The ASAP program. I can pass around the letter to you. It's a policy board.
It's about drug and alcohol prevention. It's statute. It's funded through the state.
And it's usually a couple of counties are together and they set policy regarding how they deal with those programs. Yes, sir. Do we have a volunteer? I'm sorry. Oh, okay. The zoning map work is ongoing with the transition with the new planner. We will probably have something to you in the next month or so. We have some zoning amendments some tidying up of the ordinance that we really need to take care of, and some new legislation that took effect July 1st, and we really need to get some language into the ordinance. So what I'd like to talk about next is some of our personnel changes. I'd like to read this into the record. We have a new full-time town planner and zoning administrator, Emily Lockhart. She started with us on September 5th. She's graduating this December with a master's in planning from Virginia Tech. She's had several internships with the Coast Guard and several studio projects, including from Fairfax and Arlington. She's really excited to get up to speed with her job duties and gain experience working in a small community. She has a real love for Haymarket and small communities like Haymarket. The interview team found her very confident, capable, self-directed, a clear, innovative problem solver. It was very evident that Ms. Lockhart has a passion for planning. In fact, one of her community planning projects involved connecting the arts community to an aspect of urban planning. She quilted the town of Haymarket future land use map. It's hidden in the room. We had planned to hang it up tonight as background, but we forgot. So we will do it for the next meeting. So we're very excited to have her join us. And we really appreciate our planning consultant, Steve Garson of Advanced Planning Associates. He's going to be transitioning out this September. We really appreciate his help over the last few months and during our transition. And I also want to mention a big thank you to Danielle Kievsky, our Clerk of Council and Assistant Museum Director. She is moving on to her planned career path after Haymarket Day. She joined the town part-time to help us out last fall to assist with some administrative duties, and she proved to be an invaluable member of the team, leaving as our appointed Clerk of Council and Office Manager. We are so grateful for her assistance, and we wish her the very best in her future career. And she is now hiding behind the computer screen.
She doesn't like public acknowledgement.
And I have one more staff announcement. I'd like to welcome Deborah Spray. She is our new Clerk of Council Office Manager. She officially started today. She's also sitting behind the computer screen there. She recently moved to the Haymarket area after having a long career in Oklahoma and state government and working for one of the largest private foundations in the U.S. located in Kansas City, Missouri. Ms. Spray has an extensive background in customer service, executive assistance, human resources, information technology, and office management. We are fortunate to have her join our team and are excited to have her expertise and knowledge to assist our town. So, big news for everybody.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, if we could hold our applause for all three, absolutely.
Yes, for all three. And just one last note about the ongoing Washington Street light repair. Our residents and businesses have been very patient. We still have 3 outstanding lights on Washington Street, Exit Realty, the one right out in front, and then one in front of Haymarket Station. None of the parts are still available. The companies don't exist. So we're going to go to Plan B to try to get the globes and the parts inside of them replaced. Our lighting consultant was kind enough to also assist us with Haymarket Station, which I understand all those lights are owned by the HOA, but we had a resident that was very concerned with them being out. So we're able to get those up and running, and we'll be in touch with the HOA president and speak to them about that. And then we also had some lights out on the bridge. So it's been very active, and we hope that we'll get these last 3 lights repaired and hopefully no hurricane force winds to knock them out again. So that's my update. Does anyone have any questions?
Anybody? No? Okay, Chris, I'll wait.
Yes, sir.
Do we have a snow removal contract?
Yes, we do. It's with our landscaping company, with Premier. Yes, we do. And we budgeted a little bit more than last year in the snow budget from last year.
We've been looking at
Mm-hmm.
is just how these contractors are cautioned in not driving their heavy equipment on the bricks. Just walking and inspecting the bricks, that could be one of the possible reasons why they're breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
In just using the blade on the bricks. So I know that we've done it before where we restrict heavy equipment on them. So I don't know if it's in the contract. If you want me to look it over, I can look it over to see.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it
Okay.
and see what it says. I think we only had them plowed maybe once, if that, this last winter.
Right. That's all it will take. just the blade. I mean, the way they're damaged, it took some blade that hit it to break them up.
So we're talking
I will
about the
talk with them.
sidewalk brick?
Sidewalks.
The sidewalk
The
bricks.
red, yeah.
Okay.
Could have happened changing
I'll
the
talk
light
with them and
bulbs.
see what options we might have moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And then just wanted to go back to that.
Yes, sir.
The Bull Run ASAP program.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Bull Run ASAP program. Eric was doing that as the chief, and I was just wondering, do you know about that, Kevin, about the program? Have you participated in it before?
Transfer membership?
Yeah, I did that when I was chief of Halifax, so I'd be more than happy to serve here.
Right, what
if
is
you
it,
want
like
to appoint.
4 meetings a month, or, I mean, a year, 4 meetings a year?
Yes, sir.
No, no, I caught myself. 4 meetings a year, right, and,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it's nice to have a representation from this town on it, too.
and what did you think about the program itself?
Oh, it's great.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I noticed they had a whole list of things that they work on. It's not just drugs and alcohol. But one of the things, you know, they were talking about driver education and rehabilitation, all that other stuff, is distracted driving. That's a pet peeve of mine, and I did that in my industry relative to locomotives and trains and things like that. And I notice a lot of people, I mean, everywhere I go, are just like this driving their car, and it's just amazing, especially kids. And it's a major concern. I'm not sure if they handle that in this group, but it might be an opportunity to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Vice Mayor, during the legislative season, we can also in December, have a get-together and talk about some of our priorities for the legislative season, and the council could talk about that as potentially one of the council's priorities. Send on.
Okay, great. Thank you for volunteering. See that?
We need to set an appointment then tonight? Vote an appointment?
I'm not sure if it's a resolution type or a directive.
I think we just vote on it.
Yeah, we just did.
You can
I
either
think we
do
can
it
make it
now or
slightly
during your
official.
appointment time. When you appoint Debbie, you can just appoint the
Okay.
chief for that, if you'd like. Sure.
Okay.
Any
I'll
other
make it-
questions tonight?
Questions for the town
Yes,
manager?
sir.
Thank you.
Done?
Good, thank you.
On this side? Good. All right, thank you. Okay, moving on to our agenda items. We have our first thing up is our proclamation for Blood Cancer Awareness Month and Lymphoma Awareness Day. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I forgot. We did skip over to her.
the way here.
Yes. Apologies. So, yes.
I was like, poor thing.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Yes.
Were there any questions on the engineer's report?
Engineers report questions.
I have a question that's not on the engineer's report. How are you on riprap and drainage?
With respect to,
With the recent, and I'll call it a tornado because I was in my house and it looked sure like a tornado to me. And the heavy rainfall, the riprap in 18th century Haymarket neighborhood, it got pretty bad down there. Now, I have redone all my riprap myself and paid for it, but everywhere else, it's all silted up. And I don't know if we need someone to go look at it to say if the silt has created now a hazard, and then what needs to be done. And
I've actually gotten in touch with Prince William County. I'm trying to get a better understanding of who is actually responsible for our storm easements and our storm drains and our outfalls. So I will definitely bring that question up with them, and probably find some time to go check out some of the areas.
Okay.
Yeah, wouldn't the Water Authority have that responsibility?
No, the storm drainage.
No, the outfall, though. I was following up on your comment, Katie, and, no?
No. No. So, okay, you may get a call from a resident,
Okay. Thanks for the heads up.
not me. No, I would recuse myself.
Okay, any other questions? No. Well, there again, welcome and thank you. Yep. Okay, our agenda items, proclamation, flood awareness. Vice Mayor, I don't know if you wanted to say a few words before we read our proclamation. I know
Well, yeah.
if you have any updates and stuff like that in this field here.
I think if we could just do the proclamation, and then I'll say a few words, if I may, and get a picture with the council, that would be great, so we can get it on the website.
Okay.
And I can tweet tonight that Haymarket did it the 6th year in a row.
Great. And also, I noticed on their website, too, we could add it. Haymarket's not there this year.
Well, we're going to add it.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's now lit.
Oh, good.
It's basking in red tonight, so we'll make sure they get a copy of that.
Good deal. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Councilman Morris.
Yes, sir. Thank you. A proclamation to observe Blood Cancer Awareness Month and Lymphoma Awareness Day. Whereas lymphoma is the most common form of blood cancer and the third most common childhood cancer. And whereas more than 81,000 new cases of lymphoma are diagnosed each year in the United States, including 1,900 in the Commonwealth of Virginia, together with the town of Haymarket. And whereas a cure for lymphoma can only be realized through advanced cancer research, and whereas awareness and education are powerful tools in the race to find a cure for lymphoma, and whereas the health and vitality of the people of the Commonwealth of Virginia and the town of Haymarket are significantly enhanced by local efforts to increase communication and education pertaining to lymphoma and blood cancers, and whereas in February 2016 the General Assembly designated September in 2016 and each succeeding year Blood Cancer Awareness Month in Virginia, and September 15th, 2016, and in each succeeding year Lymphoma Awareness Day in Virginia, to help to raise general awareness of the disease and provide hope to all those affected by a lymphoma diagnosis. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Haymarket, Virginia, does hereby proclaim September 2017 as Blood Cancer Awareness Month and September 15th, 2017 as Lymphoma Awareness Day, and urges all citizens to support the efforts and activities of the Lymphoma Research Foundation to bring awareness and education in the race to finding a cure for lymphoma during the month of September and throughout the year.
All right. Do we want to go up in front here to take a picture?
Sure, that'd be great if we could do that.
Okay.
All right. And if I may, Mr. Mayor,
Absolutely.
I'm going to practice my speech. No, I can't. This is our 6th annual, so I want to thank everybody on the dais and in town and staff for supporting this. I want to put it into context. The length of time it took to read this proclamation, another person in the United States was diagnosed with blood cancer. So that's every 3 minutes someone in the U.S. is diagnosed with blood cancer. And every 5 minutes, someone like myself is diagnosed with lymphoma. Now, the efforts to raise awareness through proclamations, I believe, are a very valuable tool. It's a public service and critical to the mission of eradicating blood cancer and lymphoma, because you educate the community, you generate support in all its forms, and you provide hope to those affected by a diagnosis, including their family and friends. Now, support for research leads to innovative treatments and new anti-cancer drugs. So what is the result for blood cancer patients? There are approximately 1.3 million Americans in the United States today who are in remission from or living with blood cancer. That's incredible. And over 800,000 of those folks are in remission from or living with lymphoma. However, a lot of work remains, because every 9 minutes, someone loses their fight. So one thing you can do, we all can do, well, I can't because I don't qualify anymore, is to get swabbed. It's called Swabtember, now and throughout the year. For many fighting blood cancer, a bone marrow transplant is the only chance for survival. And 70% of those patients must rely on a benevolent stranger, not somebody from their family. So it's easy to register for the chance to save a life at www.dkms.org. Find out if you qualify and may be a match to help save a loved one, a friend, or a life. So, again, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Okay, our next item on our agenda is our proclamation for National Suicide Awareness Week. I was going to say Councilman Morse has it, or you can.
A proclamation to observe Suicide Prevention Awareness Week, whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States and the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 and 34. Suicide is the only leading cause of death that has increased every year for the past decade. And whereas according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, one person dies of suicide every 12.3 minutes in the United States, resulting in nearly 43,000 suicides each year. And it is estimated that there are more than 1.1 million suicide attempts each year. And more than 90% of the people who die by suicide have a diagnosable and treatable mental health condition, which often goes unrecognized or untreated. And whereas the stigma associated with mental health conditions and suicidality works against suicide prevention by discouraging persons at risk for suicide from seeking life-saving help, and further traumatizes survivors of suicide loss and people with lived experience of suicide. And whereas organizations such as the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention envision a world without suicide and are dedicated to saving lives and bringing hope to those affected by suicide through research, education, advocacy, and resources for those who have lost loved ones or struggle with mental health conditions. And whereas in January 2017, the General Assembly designated the week of September 10th in 2017 and in each succeeding year as National Suicide Prevention Week in Virginia. Whereas during National Suicide Prevention Week and throughout the year, organizations and individuals in the Commonwealth are encouraged to consider initiatives based on the goals contained in the National Strategy for Suicide Prevention and develop and implement strategies to increase access to quality mental health, substance abuse, and suicide prevention services. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the town of Haymarket, Virginia, does hereby designate the week of September 10th, 2017 as National Suicide Prevention Week in Haymarket, and urges all citizens to support and reach out to those affected by suicide and raise awareness during the month of September and throughout the year.
Great. All right. If we can get another photo up there as well with that proclamation.
Mayor, if I can just add a statement concerning this last proclamation. It's not unique to the town of Haymarket nor our region. We've had a few cases in our high school over the last few years. We know of people who, their kids in this age range that have been susceptible to this. Even this week, we know that there has been a case here in the town of Haymarket attempted, but it's real. It's real. And in our school systems, it's even that much real. So, thank you.
Okay. And on to our next is our appointment.
And Mayor, may I real quick, going back to two proclamations ago?
Sure.
Vice Mayor Passanello, do you know when the bike ride is for lymphoma? I know it's coming up. It's in Maryland, I believe.
Yes, September 24th,
24th. Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
but I'll double check just to be sure.
Thank you, Mayor.
Our next item, our appointment.
Motion?
Yeah, do we have a
It would
motion?
be a motion for a one-year appointment through September 2018.
So moved.
Oh, I have to do the whole thing.
I make a motion to appoint Deborah Spray to clerk of the council for the town of Haymarket through September 2018.
Motion on the floor,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Discussion on the motion. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Aye.
All right, great. Congratulations here. Yep. Okay, our next is our ordinance for a meals tax-free weekend. We're on page number 29 of our packet.
Do we have, read the whole thing?
No, just the,
Motion.
I move to pass ordinance number 2017-002 for the town of Haymarket.
So we're, just to make clarify, it wouldn't be 20, yeah, okay, never mind. We're good.
I'll second.
Second by Vice Mayor. Discussion on the motion. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Aye.
Great. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes. Is there a proclam? Is there something?
Yeah, we could.
Deborah will take it.
Can we appoint her as second to Deborah?
Yep.
I make a motion to appoint Chief Lands to the
Run ASAP.
Regional ASAP Board,
Bull Run ASAP.
Bull Run ASAP Board.
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor. Discussion on the motion.
Third.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. Okay. Next up, discussion, VDOT revenue sharing grant program.
Evening again. As you all know, the town has identified a need to perform maintenance on existing town-owned curbs, sidewalks, and crosswalks throughout the town. And we've included a line item of $34,749 for these such repairs. We're also researching alternative funding sources for the construction of the portion of the town center work within the VDOT right-of-way, which would be the turn lane and the associated sidewalk and curb. We've identified one option being the VDOT's revenue sharing program, which is administered through VDOT, and the goal is to provide funding for use by the town to reconstruct, improve, or maintain the highway system. So this could include sidewalks, trails, and other facilities to support pedestrian and bicycle activities. The program is intended to provide funding for immediately needed improvements or to supplement funding for existing projects such as the town center. The maximum funding each locality can request is $5 million in matching allocations per fiscal year. The maximum funding a single project can receive over its lifetime is $10 million in matching allocations. Priority for funding is given to construction projects that have previously received revenue sharing, construction projects that meet a need identified in the statewide transportation plan, projects that address pavement resurfacing or bridge rehabilitation, and then other eligible projects. So maintenance of the town sidewalks and curbs would fall under the third item, and the town center would fall under item 4. The application period opened on August 1st and will close on November 1st of this year. Applications for the next 2 fiscal years will be submitted through VDOT's Smart Portal, and we have designated Ms. the town manager, Ms. Kimberly Murray, as the Town Smart Portal Organization Administrator, and I will be attending an informational session about the portal on the 20th of this month. Funds are expected to be used in the same fiscal year received, meaning that the project should be active. I will fill out the pre-application coordination form and coordinate with our local VDOT representative to verify that the identified projects would in fact be eligible for the program. The town would be required to commit their matching allocation at the time of the funding application, along with a resolution indicating commitment to fully fund the project.
Okay.
Any questions?
So
Questions?
Can I just add a couple things?
Absolutely.
So the funding would be, if we were approved for funds, they would be available July 1st of next year for the new fiscal year. So although we've allocated around $35,000, that's in this fiscal year. If we use that as a placeholder for next year, say, and submit an application, we would submit for a match for that. So what we're proposing is, in the draft motion before you, is for permission to move forward with preparing an application, which we would bring forth to you with a resolution at the next meeting for approval. And what I thought tonight is, if you were supportive of us moving forward, that we would kind of set some guidelines on what we would apply for as far as the dollar value. I do know, Katie, you walked up and down the street with Steve Shannon just to get a further understanding of some rough estimates of what we were looking at. Do you want to share a little bit more about that?
The walk was just a couple days ago. We were documenting some of what we could say were deficiencies in the sidewalks and curb ramps and curbs. As I'm sure you're all well aware, there's a lot of unevenness in some of the brick sidewalks, and some of the detectable warning surfaces on the curb ramps are the same color as the bricks, which is not technically in compliance with ADA. So these are items that we would want to present to VDOT as needing to be fixed immediately, and something we would want to present, we would want to use those funds for.
Mm-hmm. And so it might be broken up into potentially two projects. One, just general maintenance and fixing some of the curbing and sidewalks and crosswalks. And then the second would be some of our town center project for the road improvements, the turning lanes, the crosswalk, the sidewalk, to help offset some of the costs for that, which we could do if we were approved into the next fiscal year, starting next July 1st. So that's kind of our proposal. And then we don't have a firm dollar value now, but we want to get some guidance from you. Do you have any idea what we might want to put in for the regular maintenance project?
I don't have a specific number
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So when we make the application, we apply for a dollar amount at that time, or can we just apply to the program and then come in later with a dollar amount?
I think we have to have a dollar amount. So we have, it may not be to the dime, but we need to have an estimate of what it might cost to do what repairs we're proposing.
Right. So we're not going
to put in for.
Okay, so we're not going to put in the whole 34,000 because that's public works, that's other items rather
No,
than
that
roads.
is for that kind of work. That's exactly what that money's for.
It includes maintenance. Yeah.
So, for example, if next fiscal year you want to placeholder, say, 50,000 for maintenance, we could apply for a total amount of 100,000, so it would be a 50% match, and they would match it with 50. So we would then have 100,000 to do all the work we wanted to do.
I understand that. I'm just saying that in that particular line item in our budget, that is more than just roads. That is more than just sidewalks. That's also lamps, street lamps.
It
and
does
things.
include street lamps, that's correct.
So we would have to peel off, I think, a separate line item.
Well, that's how you show commitment, I would think.
Exactly.
That
So
justification.
in the budgeting process for next year's budget, we want to split this out.
We could.
Yeah.
We definitely could.
Is it smarter to apply like two separate, like separate it, like Kimberly was saying? Or is it better to go in with a bigger, just like overall project?
I think it would be better to apply separately.
Okay.
To be able to give the applications enough detail and to show commitment to each of the projects.
Plus, you don't want to risk it all. You know, you might qualify on one and not meet the criteria on the other.
correct?
How competitive is the program?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how
It's-
many applicants they get each year.
It's a popular program. A lot of municipalities and cities and counties apply for it. But we can get more information for you.
Yeah, great.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to add, I'm not too sure the wording that's here, but this may need some research where it says a project should be active. I don't know what stage.
I think what we mean by that is that it needs to be ready to go. It needs to be ready for construction or ready to be fixed.
You're going to
By
expend
the
the
time
funds
that
in
money is
year.
ready, so if the money is allocated next July 1st, say for that next fiscal year, your project needs to be ready to go.
So like this project is not, wouldn't fall underneath it because we're.
Town center.
The town center.
For,
Depends.
well,
Yeah.
potentially.
So no, it's not. It would not be considered.
And we can talk about the work session meeting, but under our current timeline, we can absolutely be ready in next fiscal year to do the site work. Because we're finishing the site design, the plans right now. We're finalizing the plans
The
today.
plans will be coming in for review.
Yeah,
within
we're
the
getting
next week or
review,
so.
yeah, they're gonna be going to the planning commission, this final site plan review next month.
I would think that if
So
you're
they will
going
be
to-
ready next fiscal year.
Yeah, I would think that if you're going to expend the funds within that fiscal year, that's what they really care about.
That's right, that's
You
what they're
can't carry
saying.
these funds over.
Correct, you can't carry them over.
And is it all a 50% match on
Yes.
everything?
And that's where we need to have the money in the bank to show,
Correct.
Precisely the point.
either in our reserve or the special line item. Okay. So we have a draft motion here to move this forward.
I'll make it, I move that the staff is authorized to move forward with preparing an application and a draft resolution for VDOT's revenue sharing program for the town center work and town right-of-way maintenance improvements.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Edwards. Discussion on the motion. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Aye.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next for discussion is, it's going to refer to it as a work session, but this will be the town center project where we can get more up-to-date as far as from our town manager where we stand and this vision of moving it forward. So that will be that opportunity. I think we'll also put on the chiefs as well to that agenda.
Okay. What time would you like that meeting? And does that work for everyone's schedules?
Are we going to be making decisions at that meeting?
You are not making decisions, but you're going to be giving some input to staff.
Okay, but we're not going to be voting.
You're not going to be voting, but we need some input in order to move this thing forward. We would bring forth, hopefully, a resolution or two at the next meeting.
Okay, yeah, I'm just wondering, is this more appropriate as a continuation?
Sorry?
Yes, I mean,
Rather than a separate meeting, is it more appropriate for us to continue
we
this?
can really do it either way, whatever council agrees to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any advantage?
The only, that's why I was asking if we were going to vote or direct or make decisions. If we had to vote, then I would continue this meeting. If we're not going to vote on anything, it's a separate work session.
Yeah, you don't need to vote. It can be a work session where you give some guidance to staff in the direction. We may have, Katie is going to be with us, and I may have the folks from VML Vaco also there to answer additional questions.
Let's do a work session.
Give us guidance to move forward with bringing something forward to you to vote on.
Yeah, we'll make this a work session. So that's a Monday, 25th.
What time?
5 is on the calendar. I don't know where I got that from, but it's on the calendar. I'm sorry.
Is there any
put it
objection
there?
for 5?
We didn't.
I prefer it
good for-
later. I prefer it later for me personally.
What's later?
I'd like 6.
6, Councilman Morse, we have 6.
I'm good. I'm good. Either time. I'm good.
6, Edwards, 6.
6 is fine.
Leak, Passanello, 6. 6 it is,
6 o'clock?
6 p.m. We could put that on the calendar.
Just send us out an invitation.
Also, Mayor,
Just one.
Ouch.
That wasn't her
And-
fault. It wasn't her fault.
Don't cancel it this time.
Oh, both of you are.
Also related to the calendar, I also looked, and our regular council meeting is on Monday, the 2nd of October. Both the mayor and I will be at the VML conference. And so I just want to bring that up to see if you want to have the meeting that night or continue it to the next, actually it might be Tuesday because that next Monday is Columbus Day.
Oh, okay. So does Tuesday, which would be October the 10th, 10th work for everyone for October?
I won't be here.
Oh, okay. For everyone else?
Currently it does not, but I'll see if I can move something around.
Okay. 10th, okay, great, so that's what we'll do.
Move it to the 10th?
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Watch it remotely.
Our next, any updates, so Planning Commission, let me see, I don't think they've met, so.
They do not meet this month.
Right.
They will be
ARBs is,
meeting next month. ARB will be meeting this month.
okay,
We have
great,
a few sign applications.
all right. Update Dominion Energy, anyone seen, I think, what was that, came out about a week or two ago, was the latest. Basically, the SEC finally put on the brakes and asked to revisit this. Actually, I spoke to Senator Black, that continues to fight this fight with Delegate Rob Marshall. So I think right now we're just in limbo, I guess.
What I had heard was that Dominion has rescinded Carver Road, and that they're going to probably come back with I-66 overhead and see if that'll fly.
But nothing officials, right, so.
A little hiatus, a couple months. So.
Yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to thank Senator Black and Delegate Marshall. They've really done good in just sticking to it, and they've brought the fight. You know, even when most of the other, even us, subside or voices subside, the other organizations subside. These two guys were still there, so they did good work.
Absolutely. No further ado, we'll go through our council member time. Councilman Cole?
I'd just like to say that when we did have the bad storm in August, it was like our own miniature disaster, and all my street neighbors came out, pitched in, helped. I mean, pretty much the best times we have are when there's a disaster. Snowstorm, and I know that the rest of the town was doing the same thing, all up and down the streets, and that's what Haymarket's all about. We're neighbors, and we reach out and we help, and I think it's just terrific.
Absolutely, thank you. Councilwoman Edwards.
I would like to piggyback on what Connor said earlier about the police department. I had a conversation with Chief last week or the week before. I just wanted to thank him for taking the police department to the next level and really recognizing all the work that he's put in, and he's really, I can see how invested he is in the success of the police department, and I appreciate that. And I would also like to thank Danielle, starting off as a volunteer and all the hard work she's put in, and we will miss her, but she will come back and visit us because she's really not that far away. So thank you, Danielle.
She is retaining the assistant director for the museum position, I think.
She's keeping that. Yeah.
We'll keep her on the books, is what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
It's a volunteer position she will keep.
Yeah. Which brings me over to Councilman Morris.
Sir, I have nothing more than that. I'm excited for this weekend. The entire team has done great in getting our preparations ready. We're praying for good weather, so let's look forward to it. So good job.
Absolutely. Vice Mayor Pesnella.
Jeff, thanks for coming tonight. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you doing the invocation. It's good to see you again. Danielle, best of luck. And welcome to our new employees. I think we're going to be moving forward here. I have so much to say, but I'm not going to say too much more. I missed last meeting. I was away, and we'll talk about things in the work session. So,
okay.
Thank you.
All right. Councilman Leak.
Yes, sir. Thank you to our new staff members, Miss Emily and Miss Kievsky. I still remember that pictogram you gave us. That's how I'm able to remember your last name every time. Thank you for everything that you've done for the town. And we can't thank you enough for how mature and how professional you have been with not just staff and your teammates here, but as well as with every citizen that has walked in those doors. And our hearts go out to you and thank you. And we're so sad to see you go, but at the same time, we're so excited for the bright future that you have ahead of you. And if there's anything that we can ever do for you, I know all your emails and letters always say, let me know if there's anything I can do for you. But if there's anything that this dais can do for you in your future, whether it's next week or 10 years down the road, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, because we are here to help and support you through your future. Outside of that, Mayor, no other comments.
Yeah, I wish the camera could just pan to see her. Yes, yeah, but sincerely, thank you as well, and to our new staff too coming on board. Yeah, welcome. We did do a donation drive that we partnered with locally here in town. If anyone saw the road sign, as well as the big tractor trailer that getting supplies for Harvey that left on Friday, which was neat to see that heading down there. I think that's it from on this side. We just have a short closed session to go into. If I could have our attorney perhaps read it, so that way we do it right. And yeah, as Martin would say. Yeah.
Formal motion, council moves to enter into closed session pursuant to 2.23711A, Section 1, for discussion of assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of the town of Haymarket. And Section 8, consultation with legal counsel pertaining to settlement negotiations regarding 2 parcels of land in the town of Haymarket.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Second by Councilman Leak. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous. Okay, we should be out shortly. Okay, coming back in.
Form of motion that is best to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the public body.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 2 leaks.
There's one more leak.
That's okay.
No worries.
All right.
Second.
Discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you all.
See you again.